What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week. And as always, if there's only a few stories that interest you, feel free to either use the timestamps down in the description or just, scroll through there in the time bar and the chapters should be labeled there. First things first, let's go ahead and go over all the major game releases from the last week. So on October 4th, we have NHL 25, SpongeBob SquarePants The Patrick Star Game, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, and the Until Dawn remake. Then on October 3rd, we have MechWarrior 5 Clans. Then on October 2nd, we have Kill Knight. On October 1st, we have Master Detective Archives, Raincode Plus, and Throne and Liberty. And then finally, on September 30th, we had Starfield The Shattered Space Expansion. Next up, Bear and Breakfast is free on Epic Games. This will be free until October 10th at 11 AM EST, so you might as well go redeem it because there's no better price than free. Next up, we have the first wave of October Xbox Game Pass games for you guys, those being MLB The Show 24, Open Roads, Sifu, Mad Treats coming October 7th, Inscription coming October 10th, and then at the bottom they have an In Case You Missed It section where they basically just highlight all the games that happened to shadow drop during Tokyo Game Show in case you, missed it. Those being All You Need Is Help, Legend of Mana, Trials of Mana, and We Love Katamari Reroll, plus Royal Reverie. Next up, some new games were added to Nintendo Switch Online. This coming from Nintendo of America on X. Quote, take down Zoda and his Dark Million organization in F-Zero Climax and enter the ultra high-speed F-Zero Grand Prix races in F-Zero GP Legend. These two classic Game Boy Advance F-Zero games are coming to Nintendo Switch for Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion members on October 11th. Next up, a huge update for Sea of Stars was announced. This coming from Nintendo Life. Quote, Sabotage Studio has today announced another feature-rich free update for the excellent nautical RPG Sea of Stars. What's more, it'll set sail on 12th of November. The Dawn of Equinox update is all about adding some of the game's most requested features, with Sabotage stating that it represents the fully realized vision for Sea of Stars Spectacular Adventure. So, what's included? The big addition is local co-op, something which was briefly teased earlier this year, and we'll see you able to play the entire story with up to 2 other pals. On top of this, there's a fresh combat system fittingly called Combat 2.0, which brings a new way to break through enemy barriers and rack up combo points. You'll also find a fully revamped prologue, complete with its own action sequences, a new cinematic, difficulty presets, Quebecois, I believe this is for like Canadian or French or something like that, Quebecois, localization, quality of life improvements, and more. So yeah, not only is this a massive update, but there's obviously a lot of content coming with it. And also don't forget, this is just the beginning, because the Throes of the Watchmaker DLC releases next year. Who would have thought back when this game released that the developers would have been so dedicated to not only updating the game, but then also working on this DLC for the game? It's just, you love to see this kind of post-launch support, and the fact that they're releasing such a massive update that would normally be locked behind some sort of, special edition of some kind that would cost at least a little bit of money to upgrade to. Instead, they're just dropping it for free. And again, you'll love to see it. Next up, a Palworld mobile port was announced. That's coming from Gamatsu. Quote, Krafton has signed a licensing agreement with Palworld developer Pocket Pair to expand the Palworld intellectual property to mobile devices, the company's announced. Through this agreement, Krafton's subsidiary PUBG Studios will develop a mobile game that reimagines and adapts the core gameplay elements of Palworld for a mobile environment. Further details were not announced, end quote. So unfortunately, that means we have no release date, no mentions about pricing, this, that, or the other. I feel like this is a no-duh situation with phones and tablets being as powerful as they are nowadays. Obviously, they can handle them, and, Palworld, again, it's just that type of game where it makes sense on the go. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't play a lot of phone games nowadays, but I'd definitely download and check it out because I love Palworld. Next up, The Simpsons Tapped Out is officially shutting down. Man, this one honestly broke my heart when I saw it. I genuinely have a lot of nostalgia for this game, playing it back in the early 2010s, but let's go ahead and go through this. This coming from Video Games Chronicle. Quote, The Simpsons Tapped Out is ending service in January after 12 years. We have made the difficult decision to sunset Tapped Out, reads a statement on the game's Facebook page. The decision to end our 12-year journey is an emotional one. Together with our partners at The Simpsons and the Walt Disney Company, we are delighted to bring this game to you, the fans, and seeing how you've each built your own beloved versions of Springfield. It has been a remarkable journey, and we are grateful that we've been able to deliver 308 updates, 831 characters, and including today's final farewell, 1,463 quest lines. As our journey comes to a close, we offer our sincerest thanks to you, the players who have made this all possible. End quote. So again, this is really sad. I have a ton of nostalgia for this game, as I'm sure many of you out there do as well, and it's just sad to see such a massive game shut down, because, you know, as I mentioned before, I'm not much of a mobile game guy, and I haven't played this game for a couple of years, but it's still just sad, because this was a great game, and it was one of the few mobile games left standing from that early 2010s era that, you know, one of the ones that relies on an internet connection all the time, which I feel like that's another conversation that could be had for the whole, you know, video game preservation thing. But still, regardless, it was one of those games from that era where, yes, it was always online, but it wasn't too greedy with the microtransactions like a lot of other games releasing nowadays are. It wasn't too egregious with the ads or anything like that, but again, it was a fantastic game, and I'm sad to see it go. Next up, a new Time Crisis game was announced. This coming from Time Extension. Quote, Namco's Time Crisis is one of the most iconic light gun games of all time, but its home port has sadly been trapped in the past, restricted by the fact that the PS1 G-Con controller needs a CRT TV to run properly. It looks like that's all about to change, however, as Dasheen Electronics has announced GAIME, a plug-and-play device that comes preloaded with Time Crisis and utilizes an AI-powered light gun that is compatible with modern-day flat-screen televisions. It's going to be demonstrated at TGS 2024. The official site says, quote, our state-of-the-art AI technology brings a seamless plug-and-play experience, allowing you to play your favorite games instantly with minimal effort. The AI gun is engineered to self-calibrate by intelligently detecting your screen, offering unparalleled accuracy and ease of use. It works from various angles and distances, supports all kind of common screen sizes, can be tilted to shoot. It is designed with the casual gamer in mind. This AI gun promises great accuracy, zero hassle, and a gameplay experience that's as exhilarating as back in the old days. Tasei Denki, I think I said that right, is approved by Bandai Namco Entertainment to bring this innovation to their beloved gun games and to our fellow rail shooter fans. We've also got the pricing for this thing. It's going to cost $89.99 for the base edition, the main unit and gun controller, and $119.99 for the deluxe version that includes a pedal controller and bonus items. There's no release date as of yet, end quote. So this is really exciting. If you've tried to play the original Time Crisis in recent years on a flat screen TV, you would know that it doesn't work because it requires a CRT to work, as mentioned in this article. And it's really sad because I have a lot of nostalgia for that original Time Crisis, and being able to use stuff like that, like, you know, like light guns on the screen and just have it work like it would in the arcade, it was such a cool experience. But obviously, once flat screens came around, it simply wouldn't work. It wasn't compatible with that technology. But this obviously works to make that work again. I really wish we had a release date because I really want to get my hands on this thing. But yeah, it's needless to say, I'm very excited for this. Next up, the Nintendo Switch Ryujinx Emulator has shut down. This coming from Ryujinx on X, where they posted a screenshot of a message from their Discord saying, quote, yesterday GDK-chan was contacted by Nintendo and offered an agreement to stop working on the project being Ryujinx, remove the organization and all related assets he's in control of. While awaiting confirmation on whether he would take this agreement, the organization has been removed, so I think it's safe to say what the outcome is. Rather than leave you with only panic and speculation, I decided to write this short message to give some closure. These words are my own, I don't want to speak for anyone else here, so just remember that while reading. Thank you to everyone who has contributed code, documentation, or issue reports to the project. Thank you all for following us throughout the development. I was able to learn a lot of really neat things about games that I love, enjoy them with renewed qualities and in unique circumstances, and I'm sure you all have experiences that are similarly special. I'm extending my own massive thanks to our moderation team who have been here through some rough circumstances and always found a way to make light of it, end quote. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is another and basically the only other main Nintendo Switch emulator that has been shut down. The first Switch being Yuzu, which then led to the downfall of Citra, which wasn't even related to Nintendo Switch. It was just due to the fact that they were made by the same people, so that one ended up biting the dust too. And now Ryujinx, unfortunately. I will always say I am a huge supporter of emulation. Obviously, emulation is fantastic for the preservation of video games, and as much as I love playing games on original hardware, longevity-wise, emulation will always be the future. You know what I mean? Like it's the most accessible and easy way, or it will always be the most accessible and easy way when it comes to preserving video games and being able to experience them long after the official hardware and video games are done being sold by the official manufacturers and developers and publishers and such. And again, even though when I play games in my free time, I always go to official hardware. I can't tell you the last time that I genuinely sat down and chose to emulate a game over official hardware, unless it's some very niche product where the only, I guess, feasible way to really do it without spending an arm and a leg would be to emulate it. But yeah, still, regardless, that doesn't mean that I have anything against emulation, because as I just said, I'm a huge supporter of it, and I do myself use it quite often. So it seems like we're at that point where, since the Nintendo Switch and subsequently what we're assuming to be a successor to the Nintendo Switch coming out here soon, which is probably going to be backwards compatible in some kind, the future of Switch emulation is seeming rather bleak and, well, basically just non-existent. Obviously, there's other Nintendo Switch emulators out there at this point, and there's forks of these emulators, and you can still find download codes for these out there, but it's still just, you know, in terms of official support, official development, this is it. There will always be others that come along, of course, and again, there will always be forks of these and such in the future, but it really seems like, at least for the time being, while the Switch is Nintendo's main thing for however many years that may be, yeah, you know, the future at this time is just kind of bleak for Switch emulation, but in a couple of decades, once we're at a point where, like, you know, we're like 10, 15, 20 years removed from this, I think that's the point where people will finally be able to start creating these emulators, or at least releasing them again, and not have Nintendo knocking on the doorstep every other day. Next up, the day before developers Fntastic, or Fntastic, however you're supposed to pronounce their name, is launching a new Kickstarter. Yep, they're back. What? Okay, let's just get into this. This coming from Fntastic on X, quote, "Everyone deserves a second chance. We deeply apologize to everyone for the day before and take full responsibility for what happened. Check out our plan, Fntastic 2.0, where we share how we'll fix our past mistakes and are preparing to return better." Now, they posted a full 7-page PDF file, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sum it up for you guys in a few lines. Basically, it just says how they're planning to be more honest, transparent, professional, keep an open line of communication with the community while developing and providing higher quality experiences, or at the very least, experiences that actually match what was being described when you purchase their product. Literally, that's it. 7 pages just to basically say that. They plan to actually be honest and not scam people this time, because, you know, it's one of those things where the day before had a lot of promise, seemed like a really cool concept, the shows were very promising, but once the game came out, it literally wasn't even the game that was being shown in the trailers, you know what I mean? Like, it was a completely different game, different animations. It was like, there's a difference between being like, okay, a certain game may have disappointed some people, didn't meet certain expectations. No, this is a thing where they literally sold it as one thing. It's like buying a chocolate cupcake and then being handed a slice of pizza. I mean, maybe that's a bad analogy, because I'd still be happy with a piece of pizza. Maybe in this case, I should say, hey, I ordered a chocolate cupcake, and instead they gave me a pile of dog. All that aside, yeah, I personally, I'm just gonna say this. If you believe in their message, their goals, if you like this company, I mean, go ahead and support their Kickstarter, I guess. That's on you. How you spend your money is your choice. Am I going to support their Kickstarter? No, I'm not going to. If you want to, it's your money, but I'm done. Let's just move on to the next story. And finally, we got a recap of Xbox's Tokyo Game Show showcase. So first up, we'll kind of break this down into segments. So first, we'll go over the updates on existing or already announced games. So first, Age of Mythology Retold Immortal Pillars expansion was teased. Asura Jeng is a new battle royale releasing on Xbox in 2025. Fallout 76 pets are coming to camps. Yes, that actually sounds awesome. I will definitely be trying that. I will definitely get my own pet. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. The game will include Japanese voice acting, which is very exciting. Overwatch 2 is having a crossover with My Hero Academia happening from October 15th to the 28th. Atelier Yumiya, we got a deep dive and behind the scenes look at the game. Bleach Rebirth of Souls, we got a new trailer and it's coming to Xbox in 2025. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, we got a more in-depth look at the game. Final Fantasy 1 through 6 is now available on Xbox individually, or you can just, you know, purchase the full bundle, the full pixel remaster bundle of all 6 games. Fragpunk, there's a multiplayer beta for Xbox and PC that starts on October 10th. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, we got a new trailer for the game. Metaphor Refantasio, a demo is available now. Slitterhead, some new gameplay was shown. The Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, we got a new trailer and the release date confirmed for March 6, 2025. Sin Duality, Echo of Ada, we got a new trailer and a release date of January 24th, 2025. Starfield The Shattered Space, they announced that the expansion will be fully localized in Japanese. Xbox also premiered 3 new games for the first time, those being Starbites, Tanuki, Pawn Summer, and Threads of Time. And then they announced some games that are coming to Xbox Game Pass, so StarCraft Remastered and StarCraft 2 are coming to PC Game Pass on November 5th, and then all of the games that are available now we actually already talked about earlier in the show, but we'll just go ahead and go over it again just in case you skip past that section just to get to here. So the games are All You Need Is Help, which is available now, Legends of Mana HD Remaster, Trials of Mana 3D Remake, both of those are available now, and then We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, also available now. And that was Xbox's Tokyo Game Show showcase. But anyway, that is all the stories that I got for you guys this week, so now I would definitely love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on everything that we talked about, whether it's Xbox's showcase, release, or the fact that Ryujinx has unfortunately been shut down, or the day before developers returning. Are you going to support their Kickstarter, or are you going to be smart with your money? Just whatever it is, whatever you're thinking, I would definitely love to hear from you guys. But anyway, this is Weekly GCap. New episodes go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so if you want to catch them as soon as they go live, well then, now you know to be here. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.